playoff clinching scenarios. I mean, think about it, 27 teams out of the 32 are still in contention for a playoff spot, and these two teams tonight certainly very much in front and center. And Vince, I'm watching the 49ers the last couple of weeks, and Harry Douglas kept talking about this throughout this week, and it really holds true. They are a team that might have been better than we expected in a division we thought was going to be a great division. Like that division, you thought, boy, they might get all four in. Now, Seattle, Legion, no boom. I mean, it's that window is probably closing there. But you can get three teams in the NFC West in the playoffs, and wouldn't that be something? And then of course, it leads you to all the questions about the 49ers. Well, you traded up to get a quarterback, but you got one who's playing really well again. He's already gotten you to a Super Bowl once before. What's his future? And if I'm a team in the NFL right now that's not sure about my quarterback situation, and I mean, as much as we want to think every team feels secure going into every year with a quarterback, we all know it is situational with a lot of these teams when it comes to their quarterback and how happy you are with them. I'm watching this game. I'm watching more and more of what they do now in meaningful games here to see what's Jimmy G, what is he, where does he rank, and if they don't want him anymore, can he help my team? And I'll tell you what, one team that should be watching him is in Cleveland.
Ooh. Oh, we just started straight out with some Straight Talk brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. By the way, speaking of quarterbacks, we're going to ask you in a little bit what your team's quarterback looks like. If he wasn't a quarterback, don't worry, we'll explain. But you can hang out with us on the Dr. Pepper call-in line, 888-729-3776. We'll do that in a little bit. But with your Straight Talk, I mean, there are a couple of things here. Number one, Harry Douglas is like Jay Will. They're two guys that I know that can talk anybody out of their lunch money. And so when I first heard Harry Douglas say the 49ers aren't getting enough respect, I laughed at the radio. I was driving around the car. I laughed at the radio. I text Harry. I said, you lost your mind. And Harry's like, just watch the film. That's his answer to everything. And over the course of the last 3-4 days, the more I've heard him talk, the more I've looked at all this. He's right. I mean, Jimmy G is playing better than he gets credit for because I think that we've decided there's a narrative on Jimmy G that, he's just not good enough.
And it's obviously still very much, in his prime, but it feels like he's been in the league a long time, but yet he's not old yet, right? And I do think the idea of him staying healthy, that knock on him, the best ability, your availability, and his availability was something questioned when he first got there, obviously with the knee issue, but when he is healthy, though, he puts together good performances. It's the main reason why they traded for him in the first place. He's 8-3. When he plays primetime, he's 8-3 in primetime games. He's done very well this year. And oh, by the way, he did have you one throw away, maybe from locking up a Super Bowl, right? Just one. That's all it is. Just get that one throw, and you might have a ring. And if he has a ring, where's he going? He's not going anywhere. Maybe Trey Lance is somewhere else. But if they do want to move on from him because Kyle Shanahan feels like I can do more with this offense with a quarterback that can run a lot more, that can do a lot more, run-pass option, then maybe that's why he wants to move on, because look what he's doing with Debo. Look how he has unlocked that offense by using players. He has a lot of versatile players on that offense. But if they are ready to move on from him, and I'm a team that is sort of on that treadmill, that quarterback treadmill, or I have a guy who's okay but could be better. Like I mentioned Cleveland because eventually they're going to have to pay Baker. And let's ask the question, who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? A guy that actually has gotten to a Super Bowl, so it's proven already he can win you to the Super Bowl? Oh, well, they did it with their defense. Okay, well, Cleveland probably do it with their defense too, and a running game as well. But I want somebody that I know in a big spot can make the play. And speaking of availability, is Baker Mayfield always available to his team? He's starting to get banged up. He's starting to get hit a lot, and when he does, he's starting to miss time, and that's always the excuse. Can't make that throw because the shoulder and all that. So there's one. The other team, how about the New York Football Giants? Are they satisfied at their quarterback position? Russell Wilson is something we talk about because it sounds really exciting, but Jimmy Garoppolo would not be a terrible move for them if they don't believe that Daniel Jones is the guy. But even if they want to keep Daniel Jones, why not make that move, create some competition in that quarterback room? So there are a lot of options. New Orleans Saints, what are they doing at quarterback as well? We always want to use the Aaron Rodgers, the Russell Wilsons, the brand names when it comes to some of these teams. What if they got this guy? But sometimes adding a player like Jimmy Garoppolo, who is in that second 10 of quarterbacks, not a top 10, but definitely in the second 10, it can change. It can give you that element that you're missing. So I never understood the knock on him. And by the way, I was actually co-host. I was hosting the show when we had him on. It was right after the draft, and it was like a feature. He was there with his dad, and that's what I found when we just played that audio from back in the spring. And I found it fascinating how he had that awareness of, yeah, I've been through this. Remember, he was in the quarterback room with Tom Brady. He came up that way through the whole Patriot way. So for him now to go through this here, he knows how to handle it. And I think that's an important element too, Fitz, to have a guy that isn't going to get rattled because I brought a quarterback in the room and created some competition, questions about your future. Dude's still delivering. There's something to be said about that kind of character too.
Yeah, especially in a year where the NFL draft may not have great quarterback options. I'd also add the Steelers to your list. I mean, there are a lot of teams that if you've got a team that's really set right now, but you need a quarterback, Jimmy G's going to have market value. All right.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.